What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of the Greater Iron Bangers. You guys already know who it is. We got myself, Bryson, Brayden, Jake here today. Say what's up, everybody.
Hey, how's it, guys?
You
Sick.
guys know what's happening. It's Sunday. We're recording for our reactions of the week. Obviously, we'll post it later during the week, but we are recording during the Sunday night football game. Still a pretty close one right now. We might end up finishing, by the time the game is over. So we'll see how that goes, and we might throw a quick reaction out to that at the end. But we're gonna hop right into it. Uh, get into these first slate of games. A pretty interesting week this week. Some decent games, and we'll hop right into it. First one up, the crack of dawn game, Frankfurt game in Germany, Colts versus Patriots. Not much to say about this one. Colts get the win. Patriots are struggling. We're gonna kind of break down the Patriots and maybe give like an outlook of the future for them in another video. So we'll probably go over this game a little more in depth in another video. So we'll kind of just glance over this one quickly and just skip over it. But yeah, Colts did get the win, 10-6. Not an exciting game. The game after that, though, and the first slate, definitely a really exciting one. Um, I'll let Brayden take this one because I know he's happy to see the Ravens lose. Browns get the win, 33-1, in a really exciting game. And I'll let Brayden start us off.
Yeah, I had the Ravens winning, but I will always gladly take a Browns win. Happy to be wrong on this one, but it was a good game. Definitely battle of an AFC North teams. Kind of looks like what we usually see. A lot of kind of brutal, just hard-hitting football. A lot of running the ball. A lot of defense in this game. Defense wasn't the biggest thing, but still, they made a few of their plays on defense to change the outlook of this game. Brown's defense just still looks dominant. They gave up points, but Myles Garrett's still doing what he does. On the other side, Deshaun Watson, I thought looked a little bit better than he's been looking in the past. One of his better days still. Might have a fumbling problem, in my opinion, at the end of the games because I don't know why he just drops that ball way too many times. Yeah, they won on a what's it, game-winning field goal. So good to see the kicker kind of bounce back after missing the PAT. And I'm not happy with Lamar being a fantasy owner of him, just letting the run game take over. And just hasn't been doing too much. Doesn't look great these last few weeks after we talked him up for so long. And I don't know if it's just him letting the run game do everything and but just even throwing the ball hasn't looked good. But good win for the Browns. I love it because the Steelers are one game closer to that first place.
Yeah, this is a great game. I mean, in terms of entertainment and, a hard fought battle. I think Deshaun Watson played decent. He had that one pick. That was just kind of a tough one on that first. Kyle Hamilton got a tip to himself, pick six. Kind of just unlucky for him, not necessarily a bad read or a bad throw. Um, but yeah, the Browns. I mean, I think going into this one, the Ravens were definitely the favorite. Just kind of steamrolling their last two games. Lamar putting up MVP numbers, kind of arguably leading the MVP race, maybe neck and neck with Hurts and Mahomes. But yeah, just kind of an out of character game, really quiet. Was below 50% on the completion rate. I know we kind of jinxed it a few weeks ago, putting out that 71% completion rate, and then he kind of has an off game after that, and another game where he just defense got the better of him. Um, I mean, the two running backs, Edwards and Mitchell, both had rushing touchdowns, so at least the running game was a little relevant this game. But yeah, the Ravens are just kind of a weird team right now in terms of like they haven't had a running back and a running like a solid, surefire running game like a lot of teams do in this league, and it's just kind of been off of Lamar's play. So it kind of tells you if Lamar struggles, the Ravens are going to struggle just as a whole. So, I mean, the defense, we know their defense has been playing pretty phenomenal, and we might have jinxed it again, with that post with the defense. It seems like we
You're
just
welcome.
been jinxing it a lot. So, yeah, I did take the Browns in this one. Just kind of an off pick. I actually didn't expect them to play as well as they did. But, yeah, I got to give them credit. They played well. Um, got the stops where they needed it, and Watson didn't have a great game, but played well enough, and yeah, they got that game-winning field goal, and it was a good game, definitely a good one. But yeah, we'll have to keep an eye on Lamar. I think the MVP race might have hurt that, but we'll see. Definitely not out of it completely, but doesn't help his chances.
Yeah, I mean, shoot, yes. You guys pretty much said it all. I think the only thing for me is just, I think injury. Marlon Humphrey, I think they're maybe fearing that he might be out for the rest of the season. That's definitely gonna hit that defense hard. But the way they've been playing, I think they'll be, I think they'll be okay. Obviously not as great with him, but I think they'll be fine. But yeah, I think just overall great performance, a great game actually, just both sides. Props to the Browns for making a 14-point comeback. Yeah, it's gonna be a great race for first place in the AFC North. So looking forward to it.
Yeah, definitely should be an exciting one. Um, Next game, not much to talk about. We'll just kind of quick mention 49ers, Jaguars. 49ers, kind of a rebound game after struggling for the last few weeks. So that bye week definitely helped them out coming off of their bye. Brock Purdy looks like he got himself another W in the win column. So yeah, Jaguars just couldn't get much going, and the Niners just everybody was eating except for McCaffrey. Just the one game decides not to get his. I don't know if anybody saw that post game conference where he was talking about he let everybody down, not getting a touchdown. I'm sure all the anytime touchdown bettors were seething and foaming at the mouth watching that game. So yeah, not much to talk about that one. They just dominated the Jags, and hopefully the Jags will bounce back. Um, Definitely not a lot of character for them. I mean, we know what the Niners defense is. But yeah, anyway, not much to say about that one. Next one, I'll let Jake take this one. We had the Saints versus the Vikings. Vikings get the win, 27-19, and I think we know what the storyline about this one is. Joshua Dobbs. So I'll let Jake give his thoughts.
Yeah, Josh Dobbs season. Thank you, Brayden, for bringing me aboard. Honestly, the main reason why I picked the Vikings, it wasn't just because just Josh Dobbs. I know the Saints actually struggle against mobile quarterbacks. That's pretty much what it is. And I would probably say that's what most of today's game was. Just I think he had a total of 2 or 3 touchdowns, obviously passing and rushing. So I think he was just making that defense's life really miserable, making them have to run after him, and he played another great game. You know, the Vikings just finding ways to win. I think this is their fifth straight game, so props to Josh Dobbs, Kevin, not Kevin Stefanski, that's the Browns one. I'm sorry, Kevin O'Connell, Kevin O'Connell. Sorry, just keeping the offense humming is, pretty much I give props to them for that, and hopefully they're able to make some noise, maybe make the playoffs. I think that would be a great storyline for Dobbs and the Vikings. So looking forward to that.
Yeah, I don't have much on this one. Just I know Carr got hurt. Jameson Winston came in the game, 2 touchdowns, 2 picks. You know, not. I don't think many people expected the fact that he came in was boded well for the Saints. I don't know how extensive the injury was for Carr, if it's day to day or what exactly it was. I didn't really follow it. So yeah, definitely some concerns if Carr is going to be out. I mean, we know Jameson Winston isn't the worst quarterback, but I think you'd much rather have Carr for sure. And yeah, just a good game by the Vikings. Joshua Dobbs seems to be the guy that just people write him out and just seems to cancel out the noise and have himself a day. But yeah, I don't really have much on that one.
If James Winston, if Jameis starts, this is the best season. Sorry, Jameis starts.
This is definitely an interesting season if
That's
Jameson starts.
Sorry, that's the best thing I had to say for that. Hoping he starts.
It'll be funny. You have anything, Brayden, or pretty much covered it?
Yeah. I regret betting against Joshua Dobbs on this one. Should have stuck with my heart. But yeah, Saints continue. Just I think this has just been the common trend over the last few years. Just the Saints struggle against the Vikings. We know what happened in the playoffs, the points and the Fallen Diggs. So add another game for just bad games for the Saints. But yeah, Vikings starting to look decent. They look a lot better. Kind of sad that their team looks better overall now that Kirk Cousins isn't there because Kirk could have used that help when he was there because the defense doesn't look like they're getting run over anymore, and they have a kind of have a run game, not the best, but they're establishing some kind of run game, and Joshua Dobbs is not being chased for his life all the time. So, but yeah, would like to see these teams in the playoffs. NFC is a weak conference, so there's a chance we can see them, but I don't expect too much. I would love to see Joshua Dobbs take a deep playoff run, but that's maybe too optimistic.
Yeah, a little bit.
Chance. Oh, he is a chance, though.
He's gonna upset somebody. He's gonna upset somebody. Just saying.
I wouldn't be surprised.
Yeah, he upsets the Eagles.
Nah. He's talking about we'll get the first round bye.
You'll see him outside of the bar after that.
Yeah, and that's what we'll win. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, on to the next one. Definitely a game I really enjoyed and I think was a great game. Had the Texans versus the Bengals. Texans get the win, 30-27. I'm going to start us off, being the C.J. Stroud fan here. I mean, great game by both teams. Definitely Burrow played okay. He had some tough interceptions. I will say the Bengals definitely had a chance to. I mean, I don't know if they would have won, but it definitely would have been gone a little differently. I think if they had scored that touchdown, that I can't remember who dropped it, but they dropped it in the end zone and ended up having to kick a field goal off that drive. Maybe it would have been a different game if they had actually scored that touchdown there instead of a field goal. Who knows? But yeah, got to give credit to Stroud and the Texans. Another game where they just a game-winning drive, got them in the field goal range, kicked the game-winning field goal, and Stroud, I think, is pretty much locked in for the Rookie of the Year, even if he doesn't play for the rest of the year. Kind of no doubt on that one. But yeah, I've been all on C.J. Stroud this whole year, and I just love seeing it. Being proven that I'm right, and I think it's good for football, good for the NFL to actually see a young QB like this play this well. Hopefully, it's not just rookie season and then done. Hopefully, we'll see it next year as well. But we'll touch on kind of the Texans' outlook for the rest of the year in another video, and we'll kind of combo that with the Patriots. So we'll save that for another video. But yeah, great game. Definitely. I don't know. There were quite a few quote unquote game of the weeks this week that could have gone. Definitely some candidates for that. So that could go either way. But yeah, this was definitely one of the best games of the week. And it was nice to see Shroud get the win.
Yeah, you ain't kidding. We had a bunch of games this weekend, all shootouts or just close games, whatever you want to call it. But it's just nice seeing young quarterbacks develop like this. Not necessarily just seeing the blowout wins, but seeing them whether it's come back from adversity or just answering back when they're caught up, and that's pretty much what he did. I think he had a few turnovers today, so just seeing him step up after turning the ball over, making sure that when his team needs him, he makes the plays, and that's what today was. He got the job done. Back-to-back weeks where he was just torching the other team's defense and pretty much willing them to victory. So props to him. Really, really hope we see more of this throughout the rest of the season and maybe the playoffs. But like you said, we'll go over that after. And lastly, props to D'Amico Ryans though. really got after Joe Burrow, making his day uncomfortable, pressuring him and just racking up sacks.
Yeah, Texans had a great day on defense. Shout out to D'Amico Ryans.
Yeah,
Um,
big day.
kind of was questioning his offense and play calling. I don't know. I questioned the one at the end when Stroud threw the pick. You were third and like
Yeah,
7
that
in your own
was.
territory.
Yeah, I forgot to
Three
mention that
minutes.
they nearly
Yeah,
cost themselves games a few times, but like,
yeah. You had the ball 3 minutes left in the fourth, up 2 possessions. Why pass the ball? Just run the ball, run out some more clock. Your defense is playing great. Instead, you had CJ Stroud throw a pick, put them in the 10, and just let that game get way too close. Yeah, like we said, Tyler Boyd should have caught that pass and dropped it. Changed a lot about that game. They would have had to go for a touchdown rather than a field goal at the end of it. And yeah, you could tell the Bengals are missing T. Higgins in that moment. I mean, huge weapon to lose. Jamar Chase had a game, but they like their 1-2 punch and then still having Boyd as their third option. But yeah, happy to see the Texans win. Another one I'm wrong, but I'm happy to be wrong about as they go down. Hopefully their hot streak kind of dies down with it, but probably not. I think they'll bounce back. But CJ Stroud just continuing his rookie season, great. I'd kind of love to see him in the playoffs. I hope they take the division from the Jaguars, but we'll see. Still got weeks to go.
yeah, it should be interesting. But we'll get right into the next one. We got the kind of another quiet game, not much to talk about. Titans versus the Buccaneers. Buccaneers get the win, 20-6. Kind of not really a pretty game. Not necessarily a blowout. Not necessarily a close one. Uh, just I think Buccaneers defense stepped up, kind of shut out Will Levis. So I don't know if you guys had anything on that one. I didn't really have much.
Baker Mayfield.
Yeah,
That's right.
yeah. Baker had a good day. But
Tampa
next
defense.
one, next one we got up. Another one of those game of the week candidates. Got the Lions beating the Chargers 41-38. And I'll start us off real quick. Not much to say other than Lions get a pretty, a shootout win, won by a field goal. I definitely think it was just battle of the offenses. I think Chargers, we didn't expect much from the defense. I think we expected more from the Lions defense, but just neither defense could really get anything going. And it was just a battle of the offenses. Both Montgomery and Gibbs had themselves a pretty good day on the ground. Um, and then on the other side, Keenan Allen, I know he had a decent game. I think did he
Lost
or
it.
no he didn't. Yeah. But did he get hurt near the end? I forget.
He got a
He
knee
got hurt,
bone,
but
I
he
think,
came
but he
back.
came
Oh, he
back.
came back. Okay, he
Yeah.
did. Yeah, he had a big game. And yeah, just another one of those games the Chargers just get snuffed kind of in the end game. I think the Lions had a nice final drive, chewed out a lot of clock, and then took it down to a field goal. And Chargers didn't really have time to come back. So, um, I mean, in terms of the scoring and the offense, definitely a candidate game of the week. Not really much to say defensively. But yeah, the Lions are looking pretty good in the NFC right now. Definitely kind of spices up the NFC race now that the 49ers also got a win this week, too. So it's definitely going to be an interesting one. Eagles on bye, and kind of the Lions are catching up, and the Niners are looking like they're bouncing back. So definitely one to watch. Should be interesting coming out of the NFC.
Yeah, great performance for the Lions. I think the biggest thing from this game we got from the Lions was just seeing them win a shootout. I think we all had questions about this. We know they're a running team. They like taking leads and kind of just running the clock out and just keep running it down other teams' throats. But it was good to see them kind of win the shootout with we know what the Chargers' offense was. It was a great showing for them too. Finally looked like they're clicking again. Austin Eckler had a big day, I believe. I think he had 2 touchdowns.
I want to say.
Yeah, pretty big.
No?
No, he only had one.
One?
He had one. Okay.
It was
Yeah, I think the
mostly
other one got
Keenan
called
Allen.
back.
Keenan Allen had two.
Yeah. But yeah, good to see the Chargers offense clicking. Kind of won wish they came out with the win. They fall 4-5 in the AFC. We see what the playoff picture looks like. It's a lot different than the NFC. So they definitely need to start winning these games before they're too far gone. And yeah, like pretty much said it best. Lions looking like a real competitor. Great to see them be able to come out of a shootout win and get a win. So yeah, great win for the Lions.
Agreed. I think that's the main thing. Just seeing them win a shootout. We know they can blow teams out, but seeing them win those tough fought games, that's exactly what we kind of needed to see from them. So great win from them. That's, I don't know, the Chargers. I like them as a team, but I think they're kind of in the same category as the Dolphins, where they're a good team, but they're right outside the contenders, or maybe more so the Dolphins. Dolphins obviously is a better team right now, but in the big games against contenders, I think you're kind of you're not going to pick them. Obviously, I think this is just another shootout that we've seen Justin Herbert and the Chargers just fall short again. So I mean, hoping they can rewrite the script on that one. But right now, I guess you kind of I don't know. The Chargers are still fighting right to get in the hunt. So we'll see if they can right the ship on this one.
Yeah, no, definitely the AFC is looking pretty strong right now. So the playoff hopes are dwindling. They need to turn it around for sure. So next up, um, I mean, it was a close game, but it just was one of those games that kind of I felt like was just a quiet game in terms of relevance, and I definitely wasn't really following it. Falcons lose to the Cardinals 25-23. Cardinals get the win. Um, I don't know if you guys have a lot to say about this one. Kyler Murray obviously being back, James Conner being back, so the Cardinals definitely had some weapons. And Kyler didn't have a great day, by all means. Definitely, no interceptions, but no touchdowns. And he had decent yardage, but it was mainly just, I think, James Conner back in the run game, and then um, they kicked the field goal for the win. And on the other side, the Falcons, Heineke got hurt, Ritter had to come in, and I don't know. It was just a quiet game. It felt like even though it was a close game and definitely one of the more like I guess entertainment value games. I didn't really even follow it at all. I don't know if you guys have anything on it.
I mean, that's pretty much covers it. Kyler comes back, gets the win. Taylor Green Bottle Heineke goes out with the injury. That's his new nickname now. But he goes out with the injury, and I don't know if maybe that would have changed things, but Desmond Ritter was back running the offense, so we'll see next week who's going to be starting for them. And then, Bijan Robinson looks like he's back to being a workhorse. He got a touchdown. He racked up a lot of yards on the day, but I don't know. Well, obviously, we can't predict this Arthur Smith offense, so
Yeah.
yeah.
I think the inconsistency is just too hard to tell what exactly that offense is.
Yeah.
Yeah, not much from me either. Cardinals, now that they get James Conner and Kyler Murray back, they look like still a little bit below average team, and I kind of don't have the Falcons in that range. So, or that they're in the same range, so it was going to be a close game, but
Yeah.
yeah, not much to
Just
say.
two bottom tier teams basically duking it out. Somebody had to get the win. But speaking of bottom tier teams, next up we got the Giants versus the Cowboys. I think no doubt in this one. Cowboys obviously get the win, 49-17. I think got to give a little props to the Giants putting up as much as they did after the first time they met, and just getting clobbered on. DeVito had 2 touchdowns, but yeah, I don't think we expected anything from the Giants this game, and yeah, I think just a little surprising that they just even put up any points at all. I think is the only thing you can say about this game. So yeah, not much to say about that one. We'll kind of just move on. Last one up before we get our in-house team. We got in another close game, Commanders versus Seahawks. Seahawks get the win, 29-26. I don't know if you guys have a lot to say, so I'll just kind of give my little spiel. I think in terms of the Commanders, I, I don't know how else to put it. I think you can look at this as a good loss in terms of the production from Sam Howell, because Sam Howell had a great day. He had a pretty decent day on the offense, and it's just Seahawks had the ball for the final drive, took it all the way in the field goal range, kicked the field goal for the win. So uh, definitely, I think Seahawks should have. I think this was a really close game. Commanders could have won it, but Seahawks definitely. Geno had 2 touchdowns. Kenneth Walker, didn't do great, but we know how that run game works for them. Let me see. Did Jake Bobo? No, Jake Bobo had a quiet game. Sorry. Bobo was quiet. Yeah, unfortunately. Yeah, DK and Lockett both had like 90 yards. So, yeah, good game from the Seahawks. But, yeah, I think the Commanders, you can look at this one as a good loss with how Sam Howell played. He put up 3 touchdowns, decent yardage. And, yeah, they just got unlucky. Seahawks had the ball in the final drive and took it all the way for a field goal to win.
You know what it is? Why Sam Howell did good in this game? He only does good against birds. That's all it is. And if he's not a bird, he ain't doing good. I'm being serious here. Like,
yeah, that actually, if you look back at it, yeah, it's kind of funny. That's kind of interesting.
that's all I got. I mean,
Yeah.
he's auditioning for Bill Belichick. Spoiler alert. Sorry.
Yeah, spoiler alert. We'll talk about it in the next one, Belichick. But yeah, I mean, another one of those quiet games, kind of like the Falcons Cardinals. But by all means, the Seahawks are not a bottom tier team. I think we just didn't expect the Commanders to maybe have this close of a game against them. But yeah, good win for the Seahawks. Definitely much needed for that division. Especially since the Niners got a win this week. But I don't know. Do you guys have anything else before we move on? All right. Well,
No. Good.
we'll get into our other than the Sunday night football game, which is currently at halftime as we speak. I think the Jets are up 9-6, currently halftime. But last but not least, we got our Steelers versus Packers. Steelers get the win, 23-19, and I'll let our Steelers fan take this one.
Yep, another win where we get outgained by yards on an offense, but Tomlin finds another way to win us the game. Yeah, it was a close one all the way up to the end. If you're a Steelers fan, you know we never get a break. Every game has to come down to the last play, final drive. So, but great to see our defense make that final play, get that pick at the end, seal the game. Kind of quiet day from our defense, not too much. Definitely feeling the loss of Minka. Our secondary just, besides JPJ, hasn't looked the greatest. Peterson did make a play here and there, but getting older, so not what he used to be. And biggest loss is losing Quan Alexander. I think we believe he might be out for the year. So huge loss to our defense, especially we lost I think Cole Holcomb. Yeah, Cole Holcomb last week. Another middle linebacker out for the year, so we're getting kind of thin, but I do like Mark Robinson. He was a rookie last year, so I'm hoping he can fit the gap or fill the hole, the next man up mentality. And yeah, defense not too worried about, just got to get healthy. Definitely need Minka back. On the offense, finally got a run game going. Our offensive line looks capable. Roger Jones continuing to start. Offensive line just looks better as a whole. So good to see that. Like I said, Najee plays better at the end, and him and Warren was a great 1-2 punch this week. And for the passing game, I want to see Kenny play better. I mean, this is what our script kind of was going in. We wanted to be run focused, and Kenny work off that and play action. And I felt like he's missed throws, kind of just did not have a great game, but got enough done. What we had, like to see George Pickens more used, and even Deontay was kind of limited, but came out with a win, all I can ask for. And with the Ravens losing in the Bengals losing one game closer to first and further away from the pack.
What you got, Jake?
It was another game where they got out outscored, out yardage, I guess, but
Oh,
they
Heritage.
still won. So don't matter, right? That streak still continues. But yeah, great win from you guys. That's it. It's probably the best opportunity for you guys to get the ground game going, and especially against the Packers defense that really struggles against the run. Always have, I guess. Yeah. Under I'm blanking on his name again. Sorry, not Mike. No, it is. No, it's Matt LaFleur. I'm getting
Matt.
him mixed up with his brother. Yeah, I almost said Mike. No, yeah, Matt LaFleur. Yeah, I think, like I said, good win from you guys. Establishing that run, getting Najee and Jalen Warren, just getting them into rhythm. So I got nothing else from this. Just hoping when Minka comes back soon, because it seems like you guys did miss him a little bit today.
Yeah, this is another one of those games that if you look at the stat lines and kind of look at it on paper, it's just kind of one of those games I felt like the Steelers should have lost. Um, and I back to back came down to one final play, and defense steps up, get the stop, and I think I still think Jalen Warren should be starting, and I also think that if you're a Steelers fan, you're definitely very concerned right now because I'm guessing you guys make the playoffs, but I just don't see you guys being relevant against one of the top teams. I, right now, it's just concerning that the struggles are, you know, scraping away with wins against the Titans and the Packers. Um, Definitely not a winning recipe to be struggling that bad. I know obviously the injuries on defense are really hurting y'all, but offensively, there's really no excuse. I know Deontay was out for a while, but Pickens definitely stepped up while Deontay was out, and Deontay's back. And then, I don't know, Kenny Pickett. I don't think it's Kenny Pickett. I still put the majority of the blame on Canada, but um, yeah, I don't see this year being a very a good playoff run. I definitely think, depending on the matchup, it's not going to look good against one of the better elite teams. So I feel like there's a little bit of concern right now for the Steelers because I think they make I'm sure they make the playoffs. I know definitely. I'm not sure what the rest of the schedule looks like, but I imagine when you're what are they 6-3 now? I imagine
So,
when you're 6-3, your chances of making the playoffs are pretty good, especially in that division right now with some of the rest of the losses this week and how some of the other teams are looking. So yeah, I don't know. To me, it's a little concerning for the playoff hopes. Definitely has to be seen against an elite team. We'll see. I'm not sure what other elite teams they have against coming up. I'll have to look.
none that's not in division. Not too
So
worried. Just
I
gotta get
definitely
us in the
would keep
playoffs.
my eyes on the Steelers Bengals games. I feel like that, and then obviously I feel like yeah, that's really the only team on the rest of
To
their
the
schedule.
Ravens one more time.
Oh yeah, and the Ravens. So we'll have to wait for Bengals and Ravens. I know they play the Bengals 2 times for the rest of the year, but I don't think the Bengals are an elite team right now. At least offensively, I think they're elite, but not as a whole team in general. So yeah, I definitely think the schedule looks good in terms of making the playoffs. Kind of, I feel like it's pretty locked in right now, barring like a really bad injury to Pickett or maybe T.J. Watt, because I feel like without T.J. Watt, that defense isn't really as strong as at its you know obviously with the injuries right now it's down, but T.J. Watt keeps them relevant. So barring an injury, I feel like the playoffs is there. But again, if it's a matchup against the Chiefs, Bills, Dolphins,
Got
even,
this.
I don't know. It scares me a little bit.
Got this. We're lock.
I think the Ravens will be the true testament. So we'll have to wait for that one. Last game of the year.
As a Steelers fan, you just want to make it in and watch our defense go to work. We show we can win close games, ugly games. Just gotta keep it close. Kenny's shown he's a closer. TJ's a closer. I like our odds. I just want to see TJ in a playoff run because I just know that man will go crazy.
One player is not. If the playoffs are any, like, just looking at the history, playoffs are one off of QB play. No defensive end has won a playoff game for a team. I'm sorry. It's
We
gonna
say
be,
Von Miller.
it's gonna
Von
be
Miller
QB
with the Broncos.
Yeah, I mean, I guess, but I felt like that defense was really strong as a whole.
They were.
Whereas
I can't.
your defense is kind of
We're
losing
close.
a lot.
We're not that far.
Uh,
We're just middle linebacker short. We're decimating. But if we get Minka back, I think that really helps our secondary. Joey Porter keeps advancing. Our secondary is, I think, good enough. Middle linebacker is a question, but other than that, I think our fronts have been solid. And like I said, TJ always shows up in a playoff game. We just never had an offense to keep us in games, and we've not had many playoff games recently. But
offense wins
I think-
games.
I think Bryson
QB
has
play
some
wins games.
fair points. I think he has some fair points, especially in the playoffs. Like, you really need quarterback to step up, whether that's making plays or just not turning it over. Maybe that's actually another part of it. Just turnovers really matter in the playoffs. So I guess we'll see on that. But I think also you got defense.
I mean, I feel like part of making plays,
Yeah.
obviously turnovers, no turnovers is part of making plays, but you got to be able to put the ball in the end zone.
But I won't dismiss their defense because
Yeah, I'm not saying
mean,
the defense can't do it, but I don't.
I think it
Just can't
depends. If they
imagine.
win their division, then they might have a shot of winning one because they'll get one of those wild card teams. But I don't know. Then again, it might be a division game, so who knows at that point.
not worried.
We'll see.
We know you're not worried. You're never worried.
Unfaves. Kenny we trust.
Well, that's going to wrap up our reactions. The Jets Raiders game is still going. Third quarter just started. Jets are up by 3. I think this probably would have been one of those games that we just give it, a quick glance over. Wouldn't really talk much about. So, not too worried about not really giving a good reaction to this one. We do still have Broncos Bills tomorrow night. That should be, I think we all got the Bills in that one. So we'll see how that one goes. But that's going to wrap up our reactions. Be sure to check out all the other videos we'll have out this week too. And make sure if you like the content, like, comment, subscribe. Check out the Instagram. We're posting reels and, just kind of storyline posts daily. So be sure to check those out. The same name for the socials. And we'll catch y'all on the next one. Shoots.
Shoots.